Hi everyone, welcome back. So here today we've got a little baker girl and I am going to get an applique, a circle. As you can see, I'm in Embrilliance, and if you've purchased Embrilliance Essentials you will have all these and they're all included. So I'm going to make it slightly bigger because what I want to do essentially is put some wording in there, and basically you don't have to have the applique. I just fancied doing something a little different so I could show you how I do it. So I want it big enough, so I'm going to put some wording in. And I'm going to go up in a minute, go to the letter A there, and that's going to bring down my fonts. So I'm going to come over here to the right hand side, and in the text bit here, in the next drop down bit, I'm going to go down and find the font I want. I've purchased quite a lot, so they're all in there. And now I'm going to type in my first line, which I'm going to put cupcake. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to slightly curve it. So after I've done that, I am going to come across again to the right hand side, and I'm going to go to the circle there, click on that, and then I am going to come over here and you'll see there's a little slider bar. I'm going to drag that across so that I can make the thing more curved. If you do it too much, you can always separate the letters afterwards to make them further apart. Now I'm going to do my second word, which is going to be princess. So I have opened up the fonts again, and I'm going to come across and type in here, princess. And once I've done that, it should automatically, because I've got the circle on, it should automatically make it curved. There we go. Okay, so that's already done for me. I'm going to drag that down slightly. So there we go. Let's bring our little girl down, center it, and I think that's okay. But what I didn't do, which is what I wish I had done, is did the applique first. Because as you'll see when I progress onto stitching this out, I have to skip through the first bit because I'd like the applique done first. I'll explain in a minute. Anyway, I'm going up to settings here, and as you can see, I've got a 200 by 200 frame, and it's all set in format JEF, okay? And the frame there is equivalent to my 7.9 by 7.9 inch frame, okay, that I'm going to use, my hoop, okay? So if you look here, you can drag down, you can make this design into whatever is suitable for your machine, okay? So I've done that, click on OK. And then we're going to go and have a look at the stitch simulator. All right, no we're not. We're going to go across to merge designs. Basically, we're going to have a look at the color charts, okay? Now, in here, you can change your threads to whatever threads you use. Now, I'm using Janone threads, okay? So you've got all your different threads here, and then you can click on that and it will tell you what colours you need to apply for your machine, okay? It's handy if you've got a 10 needle machine like I used to have, but I've only now got a single needle machine. So this is giving me the option here just to go through. I can change it to either the thread name, the thread number, the thread. As you can see, look, you've got sort it into colour, name or number. So I've actually put it into name, which I think I keep it at that. I can't remember. No, colour. There we go. So I actually like to work by numbers, the thread numbers. So, but I haven't done that this time. But never mind. Anyway, oh, maybe I did. Looked like I did, didn't it? Anyway, right. So now we are going to do, what are we going to do? Oh yeah, that's it. I'm measuring the width of the satin stitch. Now I'm doing this because I've made the hoop that much bigger. I want to make sure that the satin stitch is not too wide. Now that is at, let me see, it's at 6.4 millimeters, okay? Now that's fine. That is fine. If it goes up to like 9, you're pushing it a bit because then it's going to be quite wide. So it's always better to have it at about, you know, about 6 is fine, 6.5. So I'm going to save the stitch file as, then I'm going to pop it onto a USB. So pop my USB in and you'll notice it comes up that you've got it. It'll come up in a minute, hang on. Let's wait. It will come up in a minute. There we go. USB drive D. Okay, so we're going to go up to File. Then we're going to go down to Save, Stitch File As. And then it should come up USB drive D. All right. So in there, I am just going to save it directly to that. So I'm just going to go down to where it says file name. I'm going to type in, I forget what I typed in now. What did I type in? Let's have a look. Apron, because I'm going to be stitching this on an apron. So here we go. I'm going to save that. So save it. So that's that. Now all I've got to do is take it off the USB. And as you can see, I've popped the USB into my machine. And I find the relevant design, okay, which I think I'm going to do in a minute. Here I've got some heat and bond, okay. Now there's the rough side of the heat and bond, and there's the papery side. Now the rough side's where the glue is, so that's what you want to lay down flat on the back of your fabric that you're going to be using, okay. And you're going to heat this on the paper side so that it adheres the glue to the back of your fabric. So in a minute, there we go. I'm going to use some of this nice spotted orange stuff. I'm going to lay the rough side down on the back side of the fabric, and this will then make sure that the glue is applied to the bottom of the fabric. All right, so here I've got a little Cricut mini press, and I haven't actually set it to the highest setting, which it didn't matter. It was okay at that setting. Sometimes if you have it too hot and you do it for too long, it can affect the glue. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going over and I'm ensuring that you can do this with an iron as well, by the way. It doesn't have to be one of these. But I'm ensuring that everything is stuck down. And then you allow it to cool for just a little while before you peel away. Because then you can make sure that you're peeling, the glue's not, wet still. So as you'll see, there we go. We're peeling away and you can feel that it's all come off. It's solid, it's dry. Okay, so there we are. The shiny surface there is now ready for heating again on the other side when you apply it to your fabric, So now I'm getting some cutaway stabilizer here. Actually, no, this is a tearaway. Yeah, I forgot. This is a tearaway, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to hoop up some tearaway stabilizer. And I'm going to be essentially floating the apron. So I'm trying to get my centre marks in here. You can be a bit more precise if you want to. I'm being a little bit slapdash. I'm just like running my fingers along, finger ironing, if you can call it that. And I'm going to try and centre it onto my hoop. So I know basically where I want my design. It doesn't have to be too far up, doesn't want to be too far down. So, and I'm just making sure that it's centered on the hoop so the design's not to one side, if you know what I mean. So hooping up all my stabilizer, and here we go, bashing it all in. As you can see, there's a little bit of a ridge in there, which doesn't really affect it that much, but ideally it would have been nice to have that nice and taut, but it's not. Never mind. And then we're going along here and we're going to just tighten up our hoop. This is so different to my 10 needle multi-needle machine. It's just, I enjoy the process though. I really do. I never thought a single needle machine would be so much fun. But it is. I really am enjoying it. In fact, I think I'm enjoying it a little bit more than my multi-needle that I sold a couple of months. Was it a couple of months ago? No, not quite that long ago. Maybe a month ago. So here we go. I'm making sure it's more or less centered, and that's where I want my design. I'm not going to be editing this video very much, by the way. So if I do happen to say something and say quite a lot, I do apologise. So here we go. I think I've got it centered. So right, come on then, let's get those pins in. So I've got some flat pins here, and I'm just going to pin my apron to my stabilizer. A bit like we did with the beanie. If you watched my beanie video, you would have seen me. But with that, obviously, it's a little bit different to this. But go back and check out my beanie video. It's quite interesting. So here I am, pinning in the apron, making sure it's nice and taut, and I've done that. So I'm cutting out my applique fabric now. This is what I'm going to lay down first, okay? And I want to stitch this to the apron before I put the cupcake girl on, obviously, because otherwise it would just cover the cupcake girl. So here we go. So that's ready. Now I do believe I put more pins in. Yeah, there we go. I'm putting more pins in my apron to make sure it's really nice, safe and secure. So here we go. Let's speed it up a bit. So there we go. We've got plenty of pins in there, so it's all nice and secure. Pop it onto the machine. I really do like this machine. It's lovely. So obviously make sure your lever's up so you can slide your hoop in. This is all new to me, you know. I've never used one of these until up until a couple of weeks ago, and I'm having so much fun. Like I've said before, I really am enjoying it. It's a lovely little piece of equipment, and it's big enough for what I need as well. So here we go. So come back over here, and it's just putting it in its place. I think, did I bring the design up or not? I can't remember now. I don't think I did I? No, I haven't. I can just see the corner of it there. So I've got to go through now and find my design. And now the trouble is, I did not, when I put it onto Embrilliance, what I should have done is changed the sequence around so that the applique was first. But as you saw, I put the little girl in first, and then I put the applique on afterwards. That's wrong. So what I should have done is put the applique on first, then brought the girl in and put that on the top, because essentially it would, if I left it to its own devices, as you can see what I'm doing right now, I'm moving the stitches along. So I'm holding down. The more you hold down on this, the quicker it will go from 100 to like 200, 300, 400 and so on. Okay, so I'm quickly going through, scooting through. I'm going back one now, just to make sure that I've got on the first stitch for the applique, so that now it's stitching the applique out first. Otherwise, if I'd have left it, it would have started stitching the girl straight away, and then I couldn't have put my applique on because it would have just covered the girl. So here we go. I'm laying my fabric down on to my apron, and now we're going to stitch it in place. And afterwards I'm going to heat this, and that will adhere it to the apron as well. It's always nicer to add this to the backing as well, the glue to the back, because then it really does secure it in, and it stops it from bubbling so much. So now I'm taking it out and I'm going to cut it. Ideally, what I wish I'd done there and then, it's got my little mini Cricut heat press and heated it before I put it back on to do the remainder, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter either or way. So as you can see, I'm going in close with the scissors, and I'm using the little Fiscus curved scissors. These are ideal for applique because they've got a little curve and they're tiny and they're sharp, and they are ideal. I only use the point of the scissors, okay? I don't tend to go in with the whole, mind you, look at me there, well, halfway down. It's always best to use just the point, the tip of the scissors, and keep going round as close to the edge as possible. Now I pull the fabric away, gently pull it away as I'm cutting, and that sort of like moves it out the way so you can sort of eye your cut, if you know what I mean. Yeah, there we go. In and around, just take your time. Obviously this is quite easy because it's a big design and it's not exactly hard to go around. It's when you get little fiddly bits that's, you know, a bit of a pain, but this isn't too bad. So as you can see, I'm going around, and I will finish this off, and I think what I might do is just leave you with a little bit of music. So here I am applying my little thread to the machine, and as you can see, the thread comes out from under. Then I'm going to pull it over to this part here, pull it under the first loop, then I'm going to go over the top of that bar there, and then through the little hole there. It gets a little bit fiddly, but I'm trying to do it with one hand, that's what it is. So as you can see, that's how you do that part, okay? Then you will bring it around, and where it's the little arrow is pointing down, go straight down and more or less follow where it says to go, then go up over there and around. Make sure that's caught in the loop there, and then we're going to come down here and in behind that little catch there, and then at the back there you can see another little catch, so pull that back and make sure that's been behind there. And we're going to bring down the threader, the needle threader, and we're just going to pop, there we go, underneath there to that bit there, make sure that's all caught up underneath, and then we're just going to gently lift up this, and it should pull it there. You can see a little bit of a loop there. Pull that loop, and that is your machine threaded. Simple, very easy. There we go. So now back on to, oh yeah, here you go, you can pop it in behind there. That stops the thread from getting in the way, which I have stitched the thread to the fabric many and many a time. So now we're back on to a little bit of music. Okay, so finishing off now, doing the wording. Once that's done, it will be ready to take off. I wish I had ironed out the applique first before doing the rest of the design, but never mind. So here we go, let's take it off the machine and see how it did. I'm quite pleased with it. Not 100% satisfied, but overall it looks all right. And it's just another way to decorate an apron. It would make a nice gift. Yeah, so I'm going to give this to one of my nieces that likes to cook, and hope that she likes it. And let's have a look. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So as you can see, the tearaway is already split, so we haven't got to worry about that. Just going to take the remainder of it off in a minute. So here we go. Let's just peel that off. That's the nice thing about the tearaway. It just peels away. Right, so next thing is we're going to apply heat to our design, and this will then adhere the fabric to the apron itself and give it more stability. So I've got my mini heat press. You can use an iron, and I'm just going over and pressing it, and this will make the glue react again, and there we go. As you can see, it's looking a lot smoother. Not so many lumps in it. Just cutting away a few threads to finish off, and yeah, that's much better. Quite pleased with that. Look at that, look. It's quite cute. Don't have to use the applique, obviously, but yeah, I'm really pleased with that. There we go. It didn't turn out too bad, did it? And you don't have to put the applique in. I just wanted to add a little bit more detail. You can get different designs on Etsy or Creative Fabrica. Now, I will say that Creative Fabrica, I've got a discount link down below, which will get you 30% off a full subscription. And I do highly recommend Creative Fabrica because you can get a lot of designs and you can basically run your business from that. And there are embroidery designs, there's sublimation, there's printing, there's stickers, there's journaling, there's just, it's endless crafting, okay? So check out the link down below, have a look, have a browse. You don't have to have a full subscription either, you can just purchase designs one-offs. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please comment down below, let me know what you thought, questions, anything, and I'll answer as best I can. Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, it all helps the channel, and I will see you again next time. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.